Welcome, Avenger. Your presence honors me.
Hey everybody, Darmonkey here, back with another Diablo 2 Resurrected video. Today, we're going to talk about breakpoints.
What the hell is that?
Seriously, what the hell are those things? Breakpoints can be really confusing, but they are super important for optimizing your character. There are four main types of breakpoints in Diablo 2. Faster block rate, faster hit recovery, faster cast rate, and increased attack speed. Now we're going to talk about the first three of those today. Increased attack speed is a little bit more complicated. There's a lot more variables that go into that. We'll talk about that another time. So why are breakpoints confusing? Well, let's just take a look. You have this piece of gear. It says you have plus 30% faster cast rate. Okay, easy. That means you cast 30% faster. No, that's not what it means. Instead, you add up all of your points of faster cast rate. You'd have to compare that to these breakpoints, and those breakpoints tell you how fast you can cast. Makes a lot of sense, right? Right? No, not really. I just want to take a moment to thank my subscribers here on YouTube. I really appreciate your support. If you find this video helpful or interesting, please like and subscribe, and you'll get notified to my future videos or when I live stream here on YouTube. All right, let's take a look at the breakpoints. We're going to start here with faster hit recovery. So in this giant table, what you'll see is that there's a number of different factors that can impact what the breakpoints are for your character for faster hit recovery. Depends on the form, and there's a few other conditions that can impact that. Now, if you want to save these breakpoints for later, you can either do a screenshot. If you do, I recommend cutting off my ugly face. Otherwise, I do have a link down in the description below that'll take you to a web page that'll have all this information for you. So faster hit recovery, what that does is anytime you take damage that is more than 1/12 of your total health, you will go into a recovery. And so you kind of be stunned for a little bit, and this determines how long you're stunned. Faster hit recovery can have a huge impact in your survivability, because if you get swarmed by a bunch of monsters, you can really easily get stun locked if you don't have enough faster hit recovery to get yourself out of there. Okay, switching gears to the next breakpoint we're going to take a look at, and this is faster block rate. This determines kind of the speed at which you can block, the frequency at which you can block. And these breakpoints can also impact survivability. And finally, we're going to switch over to the final breakpoint that we're going to cover today, and that's faster cast rate. What does that do? In a lot of cases, it'll make you cast your spells faster, which will usually lead to more damage, but it can also impact mobility. For example, casting teleport if you're a sorceress, or if you're one of those cool kids that has an enigma, so that you can move around more quickly, be more efficient, as well as survivability, so that you teleport right past those monsters and don't give them a chance to hit you. So we're going to focus most of the rest of our conversation about faster cast rate to help illustrate how breakpoints work. There are different breakpoints for each of the classes, and in some cases there are different breakpoints for different skills. Now, there's this reference here to frames. What are frames? Well, the Diablo 2 engine calculates on 25 frames per second. And so it's not super important to know each individual one or do all the calculations. But what is really important is this will give you a sense for how much you can improve the speed at which your character can do certain actions. So you'll see that natively different classes are going to have different speeds, in this case at casting. So what is the concept of an actual breakpoint? The breakpoint is the value at which you're going to see a benefit to your character. If we look at this list and focus in on Sorceress, most of the spells for the Sorceress start at 13 cast frames. If you have no added faster cast rate, you're going to be able to cast most skills, such as teleport, in 13 frames. Now you'll see the breakpoints go 0, 9, 20, 37, 63, 105, 200. From that you can tell it's a lot easier to move up a few breakpoints than it is to get the last couple. So how do the points work? If your character has faster cast rate values anywhere in between these breakpoints, it makes no difference. So for example, if I have 40% faster cast rate, I will have hit the 37% breakpoint. Let's say I find an upgrade and I get myself up to 60% faster cast rate. You'd think that would improve your character, but it doesn't. Because you don't have enough points to hit the next breakpoint, which is 63%, 60% faster cast rate is the exact same as 40% faster cast rate. So you're going to have to look at all the combinations of your gear to kind of get a better sense as to what your strategy should be. But keep in mind that there are actually a few skills that have built-in cast delays or cooldowns, such as Blizzard or Armageddon or Hurricane or Fist of Heavens. And faster cast rate does not decrease that cooldown. Okay, I'm sorry I'm throwing a ton of numbers at you. And this can be overwhelming to new players or returning players, or if you've never just really worried about breakpoints before. But it can make a huge difference to the power, efficiency, and fun that you can have with your character. All right, I'm gonna hide these numbers and we're gonna start talking about what this actually means in practice. So here I've got my Magic Find Blizzard Sorceress, my standard character. And you can take a look at the actual stats that you have by opening up your character screen and going to advanced stats, clicking on this arrow here. And from here you can actually find out some of the different pieces of information that you need to see where you're at compared to your breakpoints. So here I've hit my 105% faster cast rate for my Sorceress breakpoint. As you can see, I'm at 113%, so technically I've got 8 wasted points there that aren't improving my character. And I'm also over the 60% faster hit recovery breakpoint. Got a few wasted points here, but you're usually going to have gear that isn't going to add up right to the breakpoint. But it's just something to keep in mind when you get a lot closer to a breakpoint but aren't quite reaching it. I do want to call it faster hit recovery because that's a type of breakpoint where if you're close, you can find charms that can help you get over that threshold, while the rest of these stats are going to come from gear. So how do you know what breakpoint to target? Well, as with almost everything in Diablo 2, the answer is it depends. It depends on your goals. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to build a maximum damage build? Do you need to be tanky? Do you need to have good survivability? What are you really trying to do in the game? And because of all the gearing options in Diablo 2, you have a lot of flexibility. I find this to be one of the most fun things about this game, is that you can pick and choose and swap gear in and out depending on the situation to better optimize your character for what you're doing today. But what I want to emphasize about breakpoints is that they can have a massive impact on your character and their power. There are going to be times that you might want to give up certain stats or even some plus to skills to make sure that you hit a breakpoint. One popular character I want to call out is going to be a Hammerdin. It's going to be super important that you hit your faster cast rate breakpoints so that you're slinging those hammers as quick as possible, because that will make a huge difference in your total damage output. Sacrifice some other stats and bonuses to increase your cast speed. Okay, enough talk. Let's see how this works in practice. So we're going to take a look at this using our Sorceress. We're going to illustrate this with several breakpoints. So we're going to illustrate this with 4 breakpoints. We're going to be at 0% faster cast rate. We're going to break the 37% breakpoint, 63, as well as 105. And you can compare them side by side to see the difference in the speed. And so this can give you a sense for what this really means. All right, let's check it out. So here our Sorceress is casting Ice Blast. Take a look at those different breakpoints. Take a look at the difference. The difference to your damage is incredible when you hit these higher breakpoints. All right, let's compare teleport speed to give you a sense. We've got the same breakpoints here. Look at them go. Man, look at the difference in speed. That's crazy. As you can imagine, the faster teleport can make a huge difference to your mobility, your efficiency when you're out doing runs, not to mention survivability. When you're moving this quick, it's going to be hard for the monsters to hit you. On the flip side, with low faster cast rate, low faster hit recovery, if you're teleporting with those low breakpoints, you're going to get smashed by monsters, you're going to get stunned, and you're going to get killed. So I hope this video has helped you understand breakpoints. It's complicated, it's confusing, but it's really important to optimize your character. So take a few minutes the next time you log on, look at your character stats, see where you are compared to your breakpoints, and see if there's a way you can optimize your character. Mix and match some of your items, see if you can get over that next breakpoint without sacrificing too many other stats. Thanks for sticking around for this whole video. If you do have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'd really appreciate your feedback. And if you found this video helpful or interesting, please consider subscribing here on YouTube and hit me up with a like. I really appreciate your support. And, as always, I will see you in hell.
Farewell.